the honour of the Queen, and the public welfare, peace and tranquillity of New Zealand, through Jesus Christ our Lord. Amen. The Honourable Prime Minister.
Speaker, I seek the leave of the House to move a non-controversial motion with debate to express its sorrow at the devastating bushfires raging in the Australian state of Victoria.
Is there any objection? There is none.
Speaker, I move that this House expresses its deepest sympathy and condolences to the people of Victoria, Australia, who have suffered such devastation and tragic loss of life in the bushfires that have raged across the state in recent days, and that it commends the men and women who are working to put out the fires and to assist the many victims of this tragedy. On behalf of the Government and all New Zealanders, I would like to offer my sincere sympathy to the people of Victoria, Australia, as they battle some of the most horrific bushfires in their nation's history. Over the past days, as we've seen the devastation unfolding on our television screens, the enormity of what is happening has burned into our consciousness. It is at times like this that the closeness and importance of the relationship between our two countries comes to forefront. The outpouring of support from New Zealanders has been genuine and heartfelt. Throughout our relatively short history, the Anzac partnership has remained strong. Whether on the sporting field, in business, or in the theatre of war, we are partners. Competitive, certainly, but at heart, always friends. And at times like this, we realise just how special that bond with Australia is. On behalf of the New Zealand people, we have offered 100 firefighters to assist the Australians already battling the blaze, and Prime Minister Kevin Rudd has accepted. Since January 2003, there has been a formal agreement in place to facilitate this process, because in the world of firefighting, there are no borders between New Zealand and Australia. Our firefighters have always been there for them, just as I'm sure that they would be there for us if unthinkably we suffered such a great tragedy. Our government has also pledged $500,000 to a Red Cross fund that will go directly to help those injured or left homeless by their bushfires, which New Zealanders are already supporting in their thousands by telephone and bank donations. The Red Cross, Mr Speaker, will take no administration fee. The suggestion that some of these fires have been deliberately lit defies belief and magnifies the tragedy of the situation. If words can convey our message to Australia, we say this: it is in the times of greatest need that New Zealanders look across the Tasman for support, and we immediately find it. Our relationship is like no other. At this time, we stand shoulder to shoulder with you to battle the blaze that will be marked forever in the history of your great nation. Kia kaha.
Mr Speaker.
The Honourable Leader of the Opposition.
Mr Speaker, as the Leader of the Labor Party, I would wish to join, I believe, with all other members of this House and indeed all New Zealanders in expressing our condolences, firstly to the families of some 173 people now confirmed dead in the fires in Victoria, Australia. Mr Speaker, this is a huge human tragedy, and I think as New Zealanders all of our hearts go out to those who have lost loved ones and to the many others who have lost their homes and their personal possessions. I think something in excess of 700 homes have been destroyed in the fires. We can talk about statistics, but I think on the front page of the Dominion this morning, those photographs show the human tragedy behind those statistics. New Zealand and Australia have a renowned competitiveness on the sports field. It's no holds barred, no prisoners taken. But I think this is a time to remind ourselves that our family and our personal links with Australia and Australians are closer than those with any other country in the world. As New Zealanders, we have enormous sympathy for those whose lives have been devastated in the fires. We want to help, and I believe that the offer of our firefighters is a good first step. They went there in 1986 and they performed their role in a way that made us as New Zealanders proud. And our firefighters want to be there alongside their Australian mates to help them out. I support the district health boards that have offered places in the burns units, and I certainly support the government's initiative and the initiative of individual New Zealanders in making financial assistance available to those who have suffered losses. Mr. Speaker, the fires are still burning. I support the resolution that we have before the House and any assistance that we're called upon to give or can offer to give as good neighbours to our friends in Australia.
Dr. Russell Norman.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. The Green Party of Aotearoa, New Zealand sends our sympathy and condolences to those who have lost loved ones in the tragic bushfires in Australia. We also support the offer made by the Prime Minister to send firefighters to assist. We respectfully note the debate that's underway in Australia as to the role of climate change in these tragic events and these tragic fires. The Green Party stands in support of the government motion and the government actions.
Mr. Speaker.
The Honourable Rodney Hyde.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. On behalf of the ACT Party, I rise to support the motion and join with Parliament and all New Zealanders in offering our heartfelt sympathy and condolences to what are our brothers and our sisters in Australia. What we are witnessing on our screens and in our newspapers is hell on earth. And it's hard to imagine a graver and more serious tragedy unleashed on our neighbours and friends. The ACT Party supports the initiative of the government and New Zealanders from one end of this great country to the other in their pledge for support. It is terrifying to think that it appears that the cause of this hell on earth is the work of arsonists, and we can only hope that that evil is brought to book with the full force of the law and they do get their just deserts. Thank you.
The Honourable Tariana Turia.
My party rises to join with the House to express our deepest sympathies to the Australian Prime Minister Kevin Rudd and the families and communities throughout Australia that have suffered the catastrophe of the wildfires that have ravaged Victoria. A crisis of such proportion for our neighbours, a crisis that all New Zealanders will connect to. And we make that connection known full well that so many of our whānau have loved ones living in Melbourne, children in Mokopuna who may well have been placed at great risk of the tragic loss of lives and homes as the merciless fire has raged on. We can only express our profound and heartfelt grief for all those families who are forever scarred by this bushfire disaster. We rise to support the role that this government and this country will play in supporting Australia.
The Honourable Jim Anderton.
Progressive Party joins